Oh, Katy Perry, we love her. Katy Perry has accomplished more than most female recording artists. But if you're a fan, will her movie be worth the wait? It's Friday. You know what that means. It's Ryan J. here with his reviews, and we'll get to the new Katy Perry movie in just a bit. But first...
today we're starting out with yet another superhero movie, The Amazing SpiderMan. Hey, Ryan, what's up?
Good to see you.
Not a mucho.
So excited.
New movies, what's up?
So there's a new Spidey flick. Is it different from the last one?
It's quite different, actually, because this one's based on the Ultimate Spider-Man comics versus just the Spider-Man comics. New director, new cast, and this movie tries to do for Spider-Man what The Dark Knight does for Batman. Make it darker and grittier and edgier, and it is somewhat more grounded, but for me, it was long and boring and slow-moving and just lacked a lot of joy. So, you know, the first movie, it's only been 5 years since Spider-Man 3, which was, you know, the ending of the trilogy that Sam Raimi directed these movies with Tobey Maguire and Kirsten Dunst, and those movies had a lot of fun and humor and joy to them. This one lacks that completely.
But Tobey Maguire is in this movie.
No, this is Andrew Garfield as Spider-Man. He was from The Social Network.
Okay.
And then it's Emma Stone as his love interest, Gwen Stacy, whereas it was Kirsten Dunst as Mary Jane Watson in the first one.
So these are a real couple, is that correct, Emma?
Yeah, they hooked up. Emma and Andrew hooked up on this film, and they're a real-life couple now. And
so do you think that'll draw people to a lot of the young people who follow young Hollywood? They'll say, oh, here's a couple doing another movie together, we want to watch them.
I'm always interested in seeing how real-life couples' chemistry plays off in films. So that was a draw for me, and they do have great chemistry in the film.
Okay.
But ultimately, I mean, the effects are good here, the 3D's okay, but I just wanted it. I expected Spider-Man to be fun. Technology hasn't improved that much in 5 years that, like, the effects are that much better than the original Sam Raimi Spider-Mans.
Okay. Some of those movies, I feel like it gets to be a little sensory overload. The sound effects and everything, the graphics are so good that it's almost too much for me sometimes.
There is a lot going on in this one, but ultimately I just feel like, you know what, skip this one, go ahead and rent the original Spider-Man, or go out and see The Avengers if you haven't yet, because that's even a better comic book hero film.
Okay.
You know, this one I'm saying skip it. I know it's a little controversial. It made $23 million on Wednesday, so, you know, it's playing now. We'll see what it does by Sunday, but...
Okay, so speaking of too much, I reviewed the movie Savages with you.
I wanted to thank you so much. You had a special appearance on my website reviewing this film.
Yes.
Glad to have you. And
your thoughts on Savages, we'll get into a little bit.
Well, let me see what you think first. How about let's...
Okay, well, you know what I think. So Ryan and I, we reviewed Savages. I think, I agree with Ryan, this could be an Oscar contender. First one of the year, right?
Yeah, I do think that it is a heavy film. It seems like an important film. It's directed by Oliver Stone, who won the Director Academy Award for Platoon, Born on the 4th of July, and this film kind of hits all the right notes in terms of scope and cinematography, and it's very heavy. It's got a lot of meat to it, and it's the kind of movie you really have to pay close attention to follow what's happening, and the casting's great.
Who's in the cast? Oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, except for Blake Lively. I didn't care for her as the main female. She looks the part, but I didn't always think she was believable.
We totally agree on that. She's very weak. She's like the weak link here, and she narrates the film, and I usually love movies that have narration in them, but for some reason she just isn't up to par. She co-stars with Taylor Kitsch, who's having the year in Hollywood. He just was John Carter, and then he was in Battleship, and this is his third major movie in 5 months. Aaron Johnson is a co-star. There's Salma Hayek, who
was fabulous.
Yeah, she was really good. John Travolta, Benicio del Toro. So it's a really powerhouse cast, but Blake is definitely the weak link.
Because I don't know, is Blake Lively the blonde there?
Yeah, she's in like TV's Gossip Girl.
Okay. Is John Travolta a scene stealer in this movie?
He has some moments, right? What did you think of him?
I wouldn't call him a scene stealer, no, but he definitely is good in this movie. I just think overall, I mean, you saw right there the movie where the moment when John Travolta gets stabbed. I think that is the lightest of all of the violence in the movie. That was like child's play compared to what this movie has, and that's my only gripe with it, is as a female, I had to cover my eyes through much of it, and I actually got so emotionally disturbed at one point, I did cry. You saw it, like I cried.
It's true. The violence in this film is very polarizing, and I feel like from the filmmaker's perspective, it's going to be a double-edged sword, because at the one point they want to be provocative, but on the other hand, they want to, they know that we're like desensitized, and they need to kind of like not kind of push the envelope and alienate audiences too far either. So.
Yeah,
but there
that's a
is some
tough one.
humor. There's a lot of it's an odd balance of different genres where you're laughing out loud one minute and the next you're crying or covering your eyes, and
Pulp Fiction
wild.
is a little bit like that too.
Exactly.
That's what he referred it to.
Oh, yeah.
He did, yeah.
Oh, I'm not surprised. See it, don't see it, or rent it.
We're split on this. I say see it.
And I say if you're a sensitive female, don't see it.
Okay.
Or just sensitive to violence, right? It could be any,
Yes,
it could be a girl or a guy. All right, we have just a little bit of time left to talk about Katy Perry, Part of Me. This movie's getting a ton of buzz, but you know, and I've read different things about it, but overall people feel like she's pretty real about her life, and she even gets into her difficult divorce without kind of trashing the ex.
Right, she still dances sort of politically around her divorce from Russell Brand, and he makes
Well, it's fresh, too.
Right. I mean, this just happened last year, and this whole film chronicles 2011, her whole tour, but spends most of the film talking about how she became famous, what she did, the struggles she went through in becoming the pop icon that she is. And I actually gained a lot of respect for her in watching this movie. I'm not a huge Katy Perry fan, but I appreciate her. Her songs are fun, and the performance footage is all in 3D, and those moments are really good, but it's really more of a story-based documentary, and I feel like unless you're a huge, like if you pay $100 to go see her in concert, then this movie is for you. But if you're just like a sideline fan like I am, it's more of a rental.
Okay. I just think she's one of those fascinating peoples. You know, her costume, her persona, everything. Yeah. I would maybe see it myself just to kind of see some of those things, because I think it's interesting.
She comes across as very sincere and cool and likable, and it's good. Yeah.
Okay, but a rental for you.
For me, more of a rental.
Okay, but the 3D you kind of got to see in a theater if you're going to see it. Well, you can find Ryan's full reviews of all the movies currently in theaters by going to his website, brianjreviews.com.